Coming up next on Arizona Horizon, the monsoon is going strong with even more rain expected in the coming weeks. Also tonight, how electric vehicles are changing the world's demand for oil. And a new animal rescue center is under construction at the Phoenix Zoo. Those stories and more next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Arizona PBS, members of your public television station.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Steve Goldstein in for Ted Simons. This week has brought damaging winds, strong dust storms, and rainfall across the valley. The storms are expected to continue strongly throughout the week. Joining us now with more on what's to come is Randy Cerveny, climatologist at ASU. Welcome back, Randy.
Hey, glad to be here.
So generally, before we get into some specifics, how would you characterize how the monsoon has been so far, and has it met your expectations?
Well, people always tend to think of the monsoon as happening at their particular location. And so I've got some people that are telling me it's one of the best monsoons we've seen. I've got other people saying, where is this? Right now, Phoenix itself is not doing too well. We're only about a third of what we would normally have at this time of year. But there are other places around the state, like Flagstaff, that are actually above normal. So it's hit and miss. But that's the nature of the monsoon. Well,
I was even going to say this I'm not going to bring up too much of a topic here. People get annoyed that the measuring is at Sky Harbor, which of course with the heat island effect and everything else, does that affect, are there areas not far from Sky Harbor actually getting pretty good rainfall?
Absolutely. Sky Harbor traditionally is one of the driest places in the entire metropolitan area. It doesn't have to do with the heat island. It actually has to do with elevation. The Sky Harbor is the lowest elevation in the Phoenix metropolitan area. Higher elevations like Cave Creek get a lot more precipitation because the flow goes up the hill and then starts to rain itself out. So the surrounding areas usually get a whole lot more than Sky Harbor itself.
Well, I always think to myself, just look for the creeks. It's Cave Creek and Queen Creek, and then somewhere in between we're sort of fighting for the rest of it.
Yeah, true. And that's one reason why when we do have rain, we get all that water coming down through those channels.
So let's talk about what's coming up. I don't know if we're going 24 to 48 hours. We have an image I wanted to show you coming up soon. I'm not sure if we can pop that up there to have you describe what's coming up in the next couple of days, and then This
is actually for the next 7 days.
Okay.
And as you can see, over the next 7 days, and most of that's going to happen within the next couple days, we're going to be somewhere hopefully around a half an inch to maybe an inch of rain. Of course, the rim country is going to get even more, but even down here in Phoenix, we should see some precipitation. Yeah. And that's because we get this moisture. You can see it going all the way down into Mexico there, being pumped up into Arizona.
So Randy, this time of year, how different? I know we don't get that much rain in the valley anyway, but when I think about fall and winter maybe, I think about those storms that come in, perhaps from California, they sort of make their way toward us. How different, just to remind people, how different is that monsoonal flow? You mentioned usually it comes up from Mexico.
Yes, and the storms are quite different. The storms that we get in the summertime here are what we call convective. They are based off of hot air rising. So we need to have that hot air that we had in the early part of the summer and all the way back into March that forces the air to lift and then create those thunderstorms. In the wintertime, we get frontal storms that have cold fronts and warm fronts that are associated with.
Interesting. Okay, so let's see if we can take an image of the next couple of weeks. I think is what we're aiming for next.
Yeah, if we take a look at what's going to happen next week, you can see that flow of moisture coming up from Mexico still works its way. And luckily, if you notice, a lot of that moisture is going to fall over the Colorado River, which is a place that actually really needs that kind of moisture.
Wow. So these models are amazing, but they're not foolproof, right? This could modify depending on certain conditions.
Oh, right. And again, the problem with the monsoon is that it's hit and miss. So even though this is showing that there's above normal chances for precipitation all the way across the western United States, there are some places that are going to get hit really hard, and there are other places that aren't going to get hit at all. But in general, we should expect the western area to be near or above normal. And what's going to happen to force all that moisture to coming up is that we're going to have a heat dome building over the Great Plains and over the Gulf states that's just going to be horrendous. You'll hear in the news next week, all sorts of temperature records are going to be hit in the Great Plains.
And then that feels like it's going to look like, 110, 112, so they're going to be...
Exactly.
So there's another image we could bring up to talk about sort of the next period after that. But before we get to that, so there's that, it became official. It was unofficial before. We used to go by dew points, and now it's The monsoon season ends, what, September 30th now?
Right. We do it after like hurricane season where we have a set beginning and a set end.
So let me just ask you generally, and we can use the image as well, but next 6 weeks or so, however long we've got, maybe 7 weeks left until September 30th, expectations for that?
Yeah, it's nice to be here with good news for a change. But if you take a look, if we're looking all the way through the end of August and into September, we should be above normal in terms of precipitation, which for the southwestern United States is exactly what we want to hear.
So does that mean we're likely to see 112 and then big storms coming our way, drive time 5 to 6 o'clock, or could we actually have some nice cloudy days where the high's 90?
Both, yeah,
Okay.
We'll probably have both because the monsoon does work in what we call bursts and breaks where we get these periods of a few days of heavy activity and then it shuts down. We have to build up the heat again.
Yeah.
So
You mentioned Flagstaff, so I want to bring up Flagstaff because we were up in Flagstaff in mid-July and we were there for a day where it was I presume this was not actually all year, but it was the rainiest day Flagstaff had seen in July, I think since 1915 or something like that.
yeah, we had an early start to this monsoon. The moisture comes up from Mexico, but it kind of bypasses initially Phoenix and it goes up the hill and then dumps out rain. And then gradually the moisture fills up the desert areas and we start having rain. So Flagstaff does usually start their monsoon earlier than we do.
So I'm going to compare it to the winter time, and there may be no comparison to be made, but I'll try anyway. Obviously in the winter we care about snowpack from the North Country. Does rain in Flagstaff or in the northern area, does that affect SRP? Does that affect the deserts to any extent, if in fact the desert didn't get the rain? I know, again, snowpack, we love seeing that flow down. Does the summer have any effect that has any similarity to that?
It really doesn't because unfortunately, one, the amounts of moisture are much smaller than what we normally have during the wintertime. And two, it tends to run off much faster. But it does help in terms of things like wildfires, that if we get this moisture coming in and wetting the entire state down, it's harder and harder to start up a good wildfire.
So Randy, only a few seconds left. I've got to ask you this because I love talking to you. What part of the monsoon do you like the best? Because you've been like Mr. Record Storms. You've written books about these things. So what about you? What do you like the most?
Well, I got to admit, this year we're really excited about the dust storms because we've come up with this new index where we rank dust storms from 0 to 5, and we've already had 2 Category 5 dust storms that have hit the Phoenix metropolitan area this year.
Okay, excited about dust. Okay, that's why you're unique. Randy Cerveny, thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
Adapted from Anthony Horowitz's best-selling books, the masterpiece mystery series Magpie Murders, Moonflower Murders, and the new Marble Hall Murders are beguiling mysteries within a mystery. Join us for an inside look at this charming series and a sneak preview of Marble Hall Murders. We'll investigate every aspect of these brilliant whodunits in The Susan Ryland Mysteries.
Sunday night at 9 on Arizona PBS.
I hear you have a story for me.
Then it gets interesting.
It gets interesting.
Yeah, I don't think there's many places in the world quite like this.
Second is never good enough. Only being at the top.
You are in a different world now.
Enjoy the journey.
Great solutions come from very humble places.
I'm Miles O'Brien, and I'm searching the globe for solutions. This part of the world has 3 wild jaguars.
Undeniably, it's melting. The question is why?
Join me.
Can we adapt?
Yes, we will adapt. There is no choice.
Let's meet the big, bold thinkers.
If you have an opportunity to make an impact, why not do it now?
With a resolve to solve.
Coming in August to Arizona PBS.
Oil prices have long been connected to the price of gas and the state of the economy, but electric cars may have something to do with how much oil the world really needs. For more on this, we welcome Hitendra Chaturvedi, supply chain professor at ASU's W.P. Carey School of Business. Welcome back. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So how much oil does the world need, and how do we come to measure that these days?
I think it's not about, I think we're doing about 80 to about 100 million barrels, give or take. So when 20 million barrel goes out from Strait of Hormuz, when the war was at a peak, we were seeing 20% of it went down. So the need is driven by many, many, many things. So give or take $100 million, 100 million barrels, sorry.
Yeah, it's amazing to think about it that way, because I think back to when I was a little one. It's hard to remember that far back, but going back to the days right before the Iran hostage crisis, and the gas lines in the US were crazy. To think about that was 50 plus years ago. Mm-hmm. Does it feel like we're having the same conversations, or what you're saying related to electric vehicles? Have we actually seen real progress, and will that be seen pretty soon?
Very interesting conversation. So we don't even have to 1973, then 1980, earliest 2008. 2008, if you, because of the oil crisis, a price of barrel of oil touched nearly $147. And in current dollars, we were paying about $6.30 at the gas pump. But if you fast forward to 2026, today what you're seeing is we are looking at something different has happened. We took out 20 million barrels. Today it's about 10-ish million barrels out of the ecosystem. And the price of a barrel of oil is at about 90. Yes, we had reserves, but look at China. It's cut its import from Hormuz by 50%, and the economy did not miss a beat.
Okay.
Today we are at $4 a barrel per gallon. So there is something fundamentally changing, and I think the key here is how the world is moving towards EV. Some numbers are projecting that by 2035, we are looking at about EVs replacing about 15 to 20 million barrels a day. That's US and Saudi Arabia's production combined.
That's especially fascinating, because we hear from the political realm, we hear that it almost became a one party versus another when it came to EVs. So what you're seeing on a worldwide basis, again, I sort of come back to the progress meter, we are seeing people accept the fact that it might be better to start balancing these out a little bit more.
I think the Strait of Hormuz, if there was a silver lining, which was it has accelerated the move towards EV. Imagine a scenario 5 years out or 10 years out. If Hormuz happened, would it have made the same amount of ripple as it did today? Probably not. A barrel of oil, 80% of that is moved for transportation, 50% for gasoline, 20-30% for diesel. If China is already one in 4 cars in the world are EV, China is 50%, Europe is 1/3, 20% of their trucks are now EVs. Let's fast forward this. This is not a sustainability discussion anymore. This is alternate energy discussion.
But I love the idea of using the word ripple, because when all of this started with Iran and Strait of Hormuz, people were quite worried, and I'm not saying they're not now, but they were, oh my gosh, what is this going to do? And then when you say it like this, it did feel more like a ripple as opposed to some seismic move.
You're correct. And then let's now talk about what's strategic. Oil is, I'm not saying oil will lose its strategic value, but the question will be, how much do we need, rather than, oh my God, we need everything. So the next strategic asset and the next supply chain will be that of electricity.
So I have to ask you this, though, because I've covered politics way too long in my life. So I'm going to ask you from a political standpoint, do the people in charge, doesn't matter what party, do they listen to experts like yourself? Do they listen to economists who say, yes, maybe some of your rhetoric appeals to some of your voters, but if we look at actual progress or the progress that's needed, you need to listen to me instead? Because I'm telling you, this is what I'm seeing out there.
I'm not pontificating. I'm looking at the data, and I'm saying that 2026, many of the experts, when they started looking at 2026 with the same lens of 2008, their predictions went wrong. So then you say, what is going on in this one? And you suddenly start to realize that the power that oil once used to have is not there anymore. And so, where is the next power center? I think we should many times repeat it. We should be where the puck is going to be as a country rather than running behind the puck. 5-10 years down the road, I think oil will be important, but it is not going to be the one behind which wars will be fought.
Okay, well, that's going to affect a lot of other things. I wish we had more time. Great to see you, Professor Chedevetti. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Pleasure meeting you.
Along US 93 between Kingman and Lake Mead is a marker to a ghost town known as the 6-Year Wonder. 8 miles away is the original site of the town of White Hills, where 15 mines produced more than $12 million in gold and silver. When word of the strike finally got out, White Hills went from nothing to a town of 1,500 in 2 years. At its height, White Hills boasted a post office, electric and telephone service, general stores, a schoolhouse, and plenty of saloons. By 1914, the boom had gone bust, and by the 1930s, the ruins remained, yet the people were gone. Today, there's little left to remind us of the rapid rise and fall of White Hills.
A new art exhibit is coming to the Phoenix Zoo, showcasing the work of National Geographic explorer and photographer Joel Sartori. The exhibit will also help raise money for a new rescue center that will house animals rescued from wildlife trafficking. Joining us now for more on this, we welcome Dr. Gary West, Senior Vice President of the Animal Health and Living Collections at the Phoenix Zoo. Thanks for being here. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
So let's talk about this center and what the expectations are. When will it be done? 3 questions in one.
Yeah, well, we're actively constructing it now, the Dornbos Animal Rescue and Care Center. And we're really, hoping it's going to increase our capacity to help with rescue and rehabilitation of illegally trafficked wildlife, which is a growing problem for endangered and critically endangered species. So we're actively doing that now. We have some animals that we currently work with in a rescue situation, but we're hoping to greatly increase the capacity for that.
Well, so could you give me some rough numbers of what rescues you have now and how many you may have if the center is successful as we want it to be?
Yeah, that's a challenging question. I mean, literally, while I was waiting for this interview, I got an email about some animal confiscations in Southern California. So Arizona is kind of in a unique place in that we have an international border and we're close to the Port of Los Angeles, and there's a lot of unfortunate illegal wildlife trafficking occurring.
Yeah.
So currently we don't have huge capacity, which is a big reason we want to build this center. We're housing about 20 tortoises right now. And if you look at turtles and tortoises, which sometimes kind of, fly under the radar for people's attention, there's estimates that probably over 1 million turtles and tortoises are trafficked in and out of the U.S. every year, often come in very cruel, inhumane conditions. And so we're hoping for emergency care, rehabilitation care, health care, and try to get them back to possibly a positive conservation outcome.
What other kind of animals are trafficked? I'm not sure that people necessarily have knowledge of that.
Yeah, it's a wide variety from things you wouldn't think of, corals to marine fish to birds to reptiles are the biggest. Pangolins make the news big. We had a partner zoo in Texas that rescued over 18 baby spider monkeys. So you can imagine people think a monkey is an appropriate pet. It really is not. Yeah. The mothers are often killed, and then the babies are trafficked across the border and sold to people in the United States.
I mean, how horrible is that? The idea that, and do people do it simply for, the same way that poachers in Africa would do this? It is simply financial benefit?
Yeah, it really is. It's an economic driver. It's a multi-billion-dollar-a-year business. And you can imagine a spider monkey mother is not going to give up her baby willingly, so she is often killed and the baby is taken. It's all about the money.
Yeah. So when it comes to a rescue center like this, I imagine there are a lot of complexities that go into that. So when you have a center, I'm not going to ask you for numbers on how much of a staff you'd need because you don't know yet, mm-hmm. but what sort of equipment would you need? What sort of technology would you need?
Yeah, another great question. We would want to have sort of emergency medical equipment available, maybe a portable ultrasound to be able to, like on ER or The Pit or whatever favorite medical show, to do quick health evaluations on incoming animals, health evaluations, treatments, incubators for baby animals to warm them up, But it has to be multi-use too. You know, we might have an alligator or a crocodile, we might have a tortoise, we might have a monkey, we might have a tiger. So it's going to have to be a building that can house a lot of different species.
Well, and also be able to keep those species not only in a good habitat for them, but separate from other animals, I would think, right?
Exactly. And so, you know, the zoo and all of our professionals, we can really provide skilled care and suitable housing, you know, for the long term. And then the hope is, you know, do these animals contribute to the greater conservation good down the road?
Well, so when having a center like this, another thing that comes to mind for me is, again, when we talk about those who are doing this for economic benefit, or in the case of the spider monkeys, that the mother is killed, can a center like this, in addition to helping the animals that immediately need help, can it raise awareness to the general public to say, okay, you may not know this is happening, you may not have necessarily money to contribute, but please keep this in mind as you see things going on in the world?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a really important point. This center for the animals' health and their benefit, it's not on public exhibit at the zoo. And so do we give, you know, special tours, do special programs, and talk about the plight of turtles and tortoises. A lot of people don't realize how heavily trafficked that group of animals is.
Yeah, and finally, very briefly, you don't have to give all the details, but there's a big fundraiser coming up in the fall, right?
Yeah, very exciting. October 16th, we're having Joel Sartori, who's a world-renowned wildlife photographer and conservationist, and he has created over many, many years, and in fact has gotten some photos from the Phoenix Zoo, a photo arc, over 18,000 animals now he's documented. So he's going to be at the zoo October 16th. It's a fundraiser for our rescue center. He's very entertaining. And so I would encourage people to come.
Great. Gary, thanks for being here. Good to
Thank
see
you so much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
That is all for this edition of Arizona Horizon. I'm Steve Goldstein in for Ted Simons. Thank you so much for watching.
Hello, I'm Alice Ferris, and we hope you enjoyed Arizona Horizon. For more than 40 years, viewers in Arizona have relied